Alright, so this is an issue that I've been dealing with for almost 24 complete hours, dealing with getting, well, it started with getting Rake to work, but essentially what this is boiled down to is I'm using the AWS Cloud9 IDE, first time working in Ruby with it, got Rails set up. It comes with the RVM Ruby version manager. I've done a butt ton of stuff to solve this issue and pretty much removed RVM Ruby, everything, and installed and upgraded everything. But the process, everything was going well until I came to do database migrations or just running Rake in general. And this is the issue that I would be presented with. Version 3.7.17 is too old, requires 3.8, even though I had completely reinstalled SQLite, and when I checked the SQLite version, it was coming up at 3.29. It's made absolutely zero sense. So did a bunch of research and reading, trying to figure out where exactly this ghost version of SQLite could exist. After deleting every instance of it that I could find on this machine, turns out I came across a couple of things that said that it's a dependency of the Cloud9 environment, and you couldn't really get rid of it without breaking things. Although have not been able to actually find where it is installed on this machine. However, Ruby or Rake, when it runs, is able to find it, and I pretty much gave up for now on figuring out exactly where on the world it's pulling it from. But I did find a solution for this. It actually came from this listing here, which is actually for the SQLite gem, where you can customize at compilation time where exactly it's pulling the SQLite libraries from. So what I ended up having to do is go to SQLite. I don't remember where I saw the instructions for this, but I've done it several times now. Downloaded this autoconfig one here, and then over in our console here, basically it went pretty well. Pretty easy this time, but there was a couple processes. But essentially, uninstalled SQLite, and then here. So let's see, where did I guess first let me move up so I can just show this. Is it over here? Yeah, over here. So after downloading that package, I put it into my temp directory here. So it downloaded there. Extract it, you end up in a folder. If you go into that folder, cd into that, and then run configure, and then make install, or sudo make install. That sets up everything on the machine, all the SQLite libraries correctly, and from that, basically looked at the paths where it moved stuff to, and what was listed over here. So it's saying to the op directory. Mine ended up being the user directory based on where it looked like things were installing. So I did jump over here. When I installed the gem, so there was so that wasn't on the machine anymore. And then installed it again, but with those options, see here, of telling it where to pull the SQLite libraries from, and that seemed to work. It installed. I ran Rake, and now Rake is running, and there's no complaints on the SQL version. I guess some other things that I came across while doing this, with RVM. Let's see real quick. RVM you need to assign default as an alias for it to actually pick up the default. I think that was one of the things that took me a while to figure out, as well as so RVM you have to add the RVM user group to your user. Otherwise, you're going to run into issues when you're installing. So when I was trying to install or run Rails, and it would run bundle, and it installs all the gems under the RVM version that I'm using. So here, user local RVM gems, then Ruby 2.6. If you don't have your user added to the RVM group, then you're going to get permissions denied, and so you can sudo that. But then that's going to cause problems because bundler is not going to be running as a root user. You're going to run into problems down the road with that. So essentially, for that, it's I think it's add group, modify user mod, something, tac A, tac G, and then the user, so my EC2 user, and then the group that I want to add them to. I believe that's what it is. And then you have to log out or refresh that session so that user reloads with that new group. And so here we can see if I do this, I'm part of the RVM group. And then you can just run your Rails new and bundler and everything as this user without any issues installing to the RVM directories or gems to those directories. I think that's it. Just wanted to point out this flippin' issue with SQLite versions and manually using the SQLite library in the gem config, and yeah, it has solved this problem. So maybe that will help. All right.